with me, Clarissa Camillo. Let's take a look at the top stories for today. We need leaders who are clean, leader who will stay with the people and not betray us. We need a government who will provide good jobs and education and keep Goa crime free, says several youth of Goa. As elections are around the corner and everyone is talking about the leader they want in future. Today, in this story, we will show what the youth want, especially on the upcoming elections, and the kind of leaders and government they want in the future. They said we need people friendly leaders, not leader who will force us to come out on streets again and again.
My name is Manjuna Chimalgi. I am student from Vasco. I have many issues to talk on with the government. Firstly, I have to say students are not getting this job who are eligible for that, because the rich students who are not eligible are ready to give the bribe to the government. I think somewhere the poor students are lagging behind, uh, and nowadays Goan women are not secured. They are feeling scared to come out. So government should make some strict rules for the women's. And nowadays we see youths of Goa are coming out to protest to save the environment of Goa. So I think somewhere government should support these youths. As I look up to with these issues, I think government should lead in a proper way and better understanding. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Kapil and I am from Moscow. Looking at the present situation going on in Goa, we have seen major of the cases, like we have seen murder, rapes, and even missing of some teenagers are going on in Mapsa and all. So the Goa is going in worst and worst hands. Now it became a trend in each and every day. We used to hear a different type of news going on, rapes and here, and it's like a common beginning in Goa. It was not used to happen in earlier, but in this situation it's going. I don't know why it's going on, and I don't know what our government is doing. So our women, our sisters, our mothers who are they should have a urge to freely roam in the night. They should provide a certain security to the women and the girls, especially who can roam at night without any fear. We are not saying to impose restrictions, but we are saying to provide security so that we can roam freely. It is not only girls but also boys are feeling very insecure, because some cases have been came missing of boys. We don't have a science college itself. We literally don't have a science college. We Vasco people, students, has to move from Vasco to Panjim and Margaon in search of colleges for Vasco in science field especially. So I request the government to build up some education, higher education in Goa more, so that students which are in large number can also take admission close to their area. So even in Vasco, people don't have a proper bus stand, especially if you go for KTC bus stand. It has been many years, it has been saying that it will be developed, but it's not going. I don't know why. It is still not been a proper bus stand yet. If you go and see Vasco bus stand, my goodness, don't even ask. Each and every side, if you go, it becomes whole and everything. It's like not even a city bus stand. It's like some village bus stand, which is that will be much better compared to this bus stand. I don't know when it will gonna be. It's like everywhere, if you go and see, like all the roads are with the holes and all. It's like feeling like put some plant and grow over in that holes. I don't know when it's gonna be. So in my view, focusing only on big projects is not worth. It is better to go into the areas and the cities inside where actually the people are suffering and what they are going through it. You should first tickle out their problems and then you should go for the other things. So my final request to Goa is we want Goa to be free from all these ongoing activities, murder case, missing cases, etc. And we also want our girls and women to be free in night. So nobody can question him and nobody can answer, and nothing can happen to them, and they provide a good safety to each and everyone.
Sabira Sheikh here from Vasco, student of St. Joseph Vas College. As you all know, there are many issues coming up in Goa, like regarding women or the land of Goa or the environment. So, as a youth, we have a very long future in this state. So, we expect certain things from the government that they will settle down these negative issues in a particular manner. We see that cases regarding women are rising day by day. So I feel that there should be more safety, security for the women. The second thing is I feel about the motherland of Goa, like it is going in the hands of outsiders. It feels like the Goa is not of Goans but more of the outsiders. So this is very sad thing if we go to see. Even about the environment of Goa or the nature of Goa, youths are coming out. Like I have the experiences, I have been the part of the campaign. So it is really not good that youths are leaving their studies, jobs and coming out for Goa on the ground to put their demands in front of the government. So we expect that there should be a proper understanding between the government and the youths, so that we don't take laws in our hand and everything goes peacefully in the state. I really expect to have a government by the people, of the people, and for the people. It's just not to say, but practically we have to have such government. In the present scenario, I feel that Goa have lost its name and fame, so we have to bring it back together as Goans. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Advocate Nino Correa, a son of the soil, a youth of Goa, and a Goan by heart. When we talk about the Goa government today, it is very sad to see that the government is not with the people of Goa. It is a government of crony capitalists. It is a government that has learned how to make anything and everything on a commercial basis. When is this government ever going to listen to us? If we look around, we see a lot of rapes, a lot of murders, crimes. Is there anything that the government is doing for the people? Is there anything for the people to say that the Goa government, as of now or till date, has actually done something for us? Can we as Goans say that we are proud of the existing government? No, we cannot. And it is right out there every day. Look at the newspapers, look at the headlines, look at the news channels. We are making it on national media as well. Our government is just not functioning the way it is supposed to. It doesn't even follow the constitution. On the contrary, it has learned how to use laws in a very unconstitutional and illegal manner. They end up making laws and bills which are arbitrary and absurd. It is our request, the request of the youth. Elections are coming up. We need to change this government. We need to change the way our government functions. And for once, we need to have a democratic government.
Number of crime cases are on rise in Goa. Theft, murder, kidnapping, violence against women, rapes, and more crime cases are reported almost every single day in the state. Today, HCN spoke to advocate Albertina Almeida over rise in crime cases in Goa. She said that lack of political will is the reason for the rise in criminal cases. Goa is not the same like before.
Um, I would look at law and order in two parts. One is about preventing, and one is about redressing when a crime against women takes place. Now, actually speaking, in terms of machinery and mechanisms, the government has a lot of has a lot of mechanisms. For example, there is a women police station, there are women police officers, there is the State Commission for Women, which is supposed to monitor. There is the Department of Women and Child. There is a machinery within the scope of the Department of Women and Child that could be creating sensitization on issues of of gender sensitization, basically. So there is this whole machinery. Then you have in colleges, they have something called gender champions. So you see there's an entire machinery at the disposal of the government, which can be used to both for preventing and redressing crimes against women. But it looks like that these are only ornamental. Sometimes they're not adequate, like, you don't have enough women police officers. I myself was recently following up a case, of a tourist who was raped, and I found that particular police station did not have a woman police officer, so they'd entrusted it to a woman police officer from another police station. Now this is not done. There has to be enough women police officers to handle cases of crime of complaints of rape, so, or complaints of crimes against women. So one is that they're not adequate, but there are various mechanisms in place, but they're not really they're just there to say that we have this. So you have a state commission for women. I haven't heard their voice on this subject at all. They should have been there, meaning, and not only there, even if they're doing something, we have no way of knowing. Their presence should be felt. The society should know, because these bodies are set up as a result of a consistent demand of women's groups over the years. Similarly, you have the women police station. The women police station should have been the one that has the capacities and would be like a nodal police station that would guide any police station anywhere in Goa for investigations. You see, they should, because they would be the specialized one, because police are dealing with so many different kinds of crimes, and to kind of grapple with ways and means of doing all these things is a bit difficult, and to be up to date on what you can do on in regard to each of these crimes is a bit difficult. But then you have a women police station which is supposed to be that, but they have not been given the powers of a nodal police station in the first place, and this is how it's going, so there is an absolute apathy towards generally towards dealing with crimes against women. In that sense, there's no political will.
Okay, moving ahead, ma'am, when you say there's no political will, there are lots of crime rates which are on rise, especially as you said, crime against women, then there are rapes, then there are theft cases, there are murders. So what do you have to say on that? Where is Goa leading, you feel?
Yeah, precisely this, that because there is no political will, there is this rise. It wouldn't happen if there was the political will to address these crimes against women, to prevent these crimes against women. But what you find is that, instead of trying to address it, to prevent it, the onus is almost put on the victim, or her family, to say, for example, Goa seems to be a leader in making flippant statements like, parents should mind their children, and things to that effect. So when you make these flippant statements, what is the message that goes around? That there was a mistake of the girls, so it means that the people can rape to glory. That's the message that goes, even if they say they didn't mean it, but this is a message. So I think, honestly, the legislators need to go through an entire sensitization process. Maybe they're so busy, trying to see how much, how to gain all kinds of political mileage from different things, that they forget to look at this issue in its depth. I'm talking of legislators across the board.
Yes, ma'am. So moving ahead, as you said, legislators are almost like sleeping, I would say, in simple words. What do you have to say when it comes to the Siddhi Naik's mysterious death case? This case, there was no proper vice. Even during the post-mortem, the viscera samples were completely ignored. They didn't collect it. Neither the swab test samples were preserved and kept. And now they say they directly pre-assumed it, saying it's a suicide case. So what do you have to say on that special case now, which has rocked every house out there?
I would say, see, I don't want to know. Sorry, don't want to know. I'm not very sure what exactly has happened. I'm not an investigator. I mean, in the particular case, so I don't want to make simply, I don't want to add to, what, to kind of speculation, because it needs specific investigation and focused investigation. But yes, evidence is lost if they haven't done it, because they can't do it anymore, because the body is already cremated. So I found this also here again. I want to say, I'm sorry, I'm not referring to her case alone, but I'm referring to other cases as well in relation, that I have found that
Go
the
ahead.
police try to tell, whenever there are these what are called unnatural deaths, quote unquote, the police try to see how people will take that body as fast as possible. Away, to cremate it or bury, so that they don't want to deal with whatever further consequences, especially when there is police complicity. And here I want to say also that why do you have this rising? I also want to turn a mirror to society. What happens is when it is, like say some migrant woman, let's say, like, there were this triple unnatural deaths case in Vasco. One of them was a migrant woman who was a domestic worker. So the fact that she's a migrant woman, domestic worker, so not one of us, te baile. So when we say that she's an outsider, let's not bother, why bother our heads with that, then what it happens is it's a slippery slope. Then it begins to haunt us, because now you have created a foundation where people are doing things and getting away with it. So once that foundation is created, it's very difficult to demolish that foundation when the same thing starts happening to local people. Now we've got up because saying daughter of Goa, but I think we should have been getting up long ago, and we should not get up only for one case. We should be getting up. It's great that people are getting up for this case. I'm not saying that, but I think we should be alert to every crime against women, whether it's a local woman or whether it's a woman from elsewhere, because finally it's about creating a certain culture of crime which we have to attack. We have to not let that culture of crime get embedded in our society.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, done, ma'am.
And here is the roundup of the week. In this round, we will show you some of the important stories that were reported during the week.
Goa has seen numerous Indian tourists visiting the state, especially over the weekends. Most of the beaches are crowded with visitors. Today in the story, we will show you the side of Paka Beach, wherein the lifeguards are finding it difficult to control the tourists at the beach. They warned the tourists not to venture into the sea, but they simply refused.
ध्यान रखिए, पानी में नहाना सुरक्षित नहीं है, ध्यान रखिए आप लोग। रेनी सीजन इस टाइम में किसी को भी अलाउ नहीं कर रहे, सभी बाल से ऊपर और किनारे पे रुको आके। पानी में कोई भी चाहिए, हेलो भाई साहब, मैडम जी सुनाई दे रहा है? बच्चों को लेके ऊपर ही वहां से ऊपर आके रुकिए, सभी ऊपर ही बाल से और साइड में रुकिए, ऊपर अलाउ नहीं किसी को भी अंदर, सभी ऊपर ही वहां से। और मास्क नहीं है, मास्क कंपल्सरी है।
जे लोक येता पळय ते सांगलेले कशेंच आमचे आयकना, उदकान वचों नाका, सी रफ हा, पण अशेंच येता की मास्क ना घालच्या शिवाय वयल्यान उदकाच्यान भायर काडले जाल्यार आमकां वयल्यान शाणपणां सांगता ते, आनी हे ड्रिंक घेवन येतात बिचार, आयकना, पुलीस तांकां धांवतात.
तुमची एडवायस कितें आसा?
आमची एक म्हटल्यार लोकांनी उदकान भितर वयपाचें ना. उदकान गेलो जाल्यार आतां सी का रफ हा न्हू, रेस्क्यू जातलोच जातलो. हे लोकांक सांगूंक सोदता की उदकान वयपाचें ना.
The Chennai police is all set to assist Kalangut police into the death of a Russian Alexandra. She was a model and worked in a few South Indian movies, and she had earlier complained of sexual harassment 2 years back. A 24-year-old Russian woman, that is Alexandra Dajvi, who accordingly to the local police hung herself from the ceiling fan in a rented home in North Goa village on 19th August and had previously harassed in Chennai in 2019 by a photographer for sexual favors. A lawyer from the Russian consulate in Mumbai said that the Goa-based lawyer Vikram Verma also said that the post-mortem of the remains of Dajvi, as well as the 34-year-old actor, Ekaterina Titova, who was also found dead in her apartment in a separate incident, which could conduct a presence of Russian consular officials soon. Now, the Goa police has, however, not mentioned the Chennai angle and whether they would question the photographer in Chennai particular.
Informed about these two deaths. One is a 24-year-old and one is a 34-year-old Russian national. Now, we are waiting for further information on them. Regarding the 24-year-old Alexandra, we have received information that she had been blackmailed in 2019 for sexual favors. And after a preliminary inquiry, the Chennai police had registered an FIR. But this is preliminary information, and we hope that the Goa police can investigate the matter thoroughly and rule out any possible suspicion in her death.
So these days?
So we are expecting officers, diplomats from the consulate to be visiting Goa in September. So they will look into the matter.
Any post-mortem going now?
No, I believe the clearances and all have to be taken. The family has to be informed. So after taking clearances, the NOC will be provided for the post-mortem. Until then, I am informed that the bodies have been safely put in the GMC.
But how you seriously seen on these two incidents?
Matter of death, and especially where the death involves a young person, the levels of suspicion have to be very high. And we should rule out any possibility of homicide, because people who do murder, sometimes they disguise their act in such a clever manner that it appears like a suicide or an accident.
19 August 2021, we had received information regarding the death of two ladies of Russian nationality in the area of Shivolim of PS Anjuna. Upon receiving that information, the staff of PS Anjuna had visited the spots, while one of the females, who was 24-year-old holding a Russian passport, was found to have died. Prima facie cause of death was ascertained as hanging, and in the other case, a 34-year-old Russian passport holder lady was found dead in her bedroom. In both cases, we are following the legal procedure, which is we have informed the embassy to appoint a representative. An inquest proceeding in the meantime is ongoing. Once the representative is assigned, further medical legal formalities such as the post-mortem examination will be conducted. In the meantime, we are not suspecting any foul play as of now. However, we will wait for statements from the representatives and the final decision on the cause of death by the medical legal examination.
So
as I said, post-mortem will be conducted in the presence of representatives of the Russian embassy. So we have already written to the Russian embassy to appoint representatives for the medical legal formalities. Once the representatives are here, we will be conducting the post-mortem examination.
So both, what about names?
One of them is by the name of Alexandra Rijavi, and the other one, who is 34 years, is by the name of Ekaterina.
So both has an Anjuna residency, otherwise
they were both residing in Anjuna.
Instead of just making false promises and fooling us, I think it's high time that the government steps up and takes responsibility to safeguard women.
आणि आयज ह्या ताका श्रद्धांजली दिवपाक आमच्या कोळवटी गांवांत एक कॅन्डल मास दवरलेलो आणि ह्या कॅन्डल मासाक लोकांनी खूब उपस्थिती लायली आणि प्रत्येक भगिनीन सांगले की हे जे कितें चल्लां आमच्या कोळवटीन संबंद गोंयभर हेका सगळो जबाबदार म्हणजे सरकार आहा. सरकारान स्टेपां घेता जाल्यार जर बरोबर घेतलेली इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन सारके प्रॉपर चॅनलान गेले जाल्यार आज ह्या 12 दिसांक जर कोण एक्यूज आहा ताका अरेस्ट करून आयज 12 दीस जावपाचे. पूण ह्या सरकाराक अजून काय अक्कल येना, ह्या सरकाराचे दोळे अजून काय जागे जायना, ह्या सरकाराचे कानूय अजून सारखे आयकूंक येना हांकां. सो कळंगूट म्हणजे आमचो असो एक जो गांव आसा जो अख्ख्या वर्ल्डाचेर आमचो फेमस आनी ह्या फेमस अशा बिचाचेर ही जी गजाल घडलेली आसा आनी सगळ्या लोकांक अख्ख्या गोंयच्या खबर आसा की ह्या चलयेचेर रेप जाल्ली आनी मागीर तेचो मर्डर जाल्ली आनी मर्डरर ते उक्त्या हितून भोंवतात सगळी कडेन कित्याक तांकां सरकारचें आनी पुलिसाचें तांकां रक्षण आसा म्हणून.
कालांगूट कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी आयज कॅन्डल लायट मार्च जाली सांतोलेच्या कॉपेल्सान कालांगूट चर्च. ही आमची भयण श्रीदी नाईक तेजें मरण पळय आख्ख्या गोंयचो लोक आबारार जाल्ला. ताका एक न्याय मेळोंक जाय. हे पुलिसांनी हे पुलीस सांगता ते प्रमाणे ते सुसायड म्हणून तेजे लोक सगळे चिंतूंक पडल्या. हे सारके ती पुलीस आपणाची ड्युटी करता काय कोणाचे ते गॉडफादरान कवर अप करता पळय ते. आमकां सगळ्यांचो डिमांड आहा तेंची तर हँडल जायना नाल्यार केस काडून आमच्या गव्हर्मेंटान CBI काढून दिवपाची.
A rapid RT-PCR testing booth has been set up at the Goa International Airport, Dabolim, in MLCP to cater to those who need the carry COVID-19 negative report to their destination, especially to UAE. The facility has been made available especially for those taking international flights to and from United Arab Emirates, where COVID reports are mandatory to enter the country. The RT-PCR facility has started today morning at the Goa International Airport to meet the present requirements of the UAE departures. This shall facilitate departures from Goa to UAE. The test charges ₹4,000 only. The Goa Airport tweeted. As per record, the RT-PCR price at private hospitals and other clinics cost about 1,500 to 2,000, while at the airport, the RT-PCR test will cost you about ₹4,000.
The Margao municipality held a special meet after several complaints were raised by councillors and locals about MMC staff and workers not coming on time or are irregular. MMC chairperson Lyndon Pereira called all members and also daily wage workers to discuss this issue.
Because of councillors that day on the ordinary meeting, then आमकां कितें जालें laborers डेली वेजेस लेबरर्स आमगेले आहाय ते वर्कर्स आनी कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर्स आमगेले सॅनिटेशन सेक्शन रोड गँग सेक्शन गार्बेज सेक्शन आनी आमगेलो सगळे सेक्शन आयज हिंगा आपयला सुपरवायझर आपयला सगळे वर्कर्सांक आपयला टू टेल देम दॅट विदाउट वर्किंग वी वोंट गिव यू द सॅलरी म्हणून. ताका आतां आयज ऑफीस आमचे ते ऑफिस आसा सॅटर्डेचे ऑफिस ओपन आसता डेली वेजीस कम टू वर्क बट हिंगा कंप्लेंट आयला फ्रॉम द पिपलाचे कंप्लेंट आयला काउन्सिलराचे कंप्लेंट आयला ते हायली सायन मारता ही आनी सायन मारून घरा वयता ही दे डोंट वर्क ऑन सॅटर्डेज. सो दॅट दीस इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन आय वॉन्ट टू डू. I asked all the supervisors, all the in charge was there, all the section in charge to take action. Those are taking salary without working. So I'll be very strict on this. कित्याक आमकां कंप्लेन आहा खूब कित्याक आसता पगार ही थोडे एबसंट आसता ही एबसंट आसून सुद्दां ही ते पगार घेता ही. नाव ऑन दीस इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन आमगेले सुपरवायझर सांगला सी दॅट हू इज नॉट वर्किंग will not get salary and who are absent should be absent. तांकां प्रेझेंट मार्क करपाचें न्हू आनी तांकां इफेक्टिव्ह कोण आहा ते आमगेले हे आहाय ते सगळे इन्चार्ज आहा पळय ते दे वील टेक इफेक्टिव्ह आनी तांकां आमी सॅलरी दिलेले ऑन बेसीस ऑफ द प्रेझन्स.
व्हेरीफाय जावंकूच ना की सगळे वर्कर कामां आसा काय ना. सेकंडली हे जालें हे जे परेड जाली जे म्युन्सिपालिटीचे कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट वर्कर्स आसात आनी म्युन्सिपालिटीचे डेली वेज वर्कर आसात. आतां तेजे भायर आनी 2 एजन्सी आसात. एक बापू एनवायरमेंट म्हण आनी एक गोल्डन ग्लोब म्हण. हे दोन्ही एजन्सी मेळोन म्हयन्याक 25 लाख सुमार तांकां पेमेंट जाता आनी ते आमकां लिस्ट दिता म्युन्सिपालिटीक लिस्ट दिता. एक एजन्सीक 60-90 वर्कर दिता आनी एक 65 वर्कर दिता. सो अशें म्हणून ते एवरी मंथ बील सबमीट करता. आतां ते सगळे वर्कर आसा कामां आसा काय ना ते कोण चॅक करतलो. तेमची परेड कित्याक जायना. फाटी गेल्ल्या वर्सा जेन्ना बापूचे बील आमी एक्सपोज केल्ले तेन्ना 45 वर्कर्स सबमीट करता आय मीन कामां लायत म्हण तो बील दितालो म्युन्सिपालिटीक 45 वर्करांचे. पूण एक्चुअल फक्त 30 वर्कर्सांक सप्लाय करतालो म्युन्सिपालिटी. दिसाक 2 आय मीन म्हयन्याक 2 लाख सुमार एक्स्ट्रा तो चार्ज करतालो एका म्युन्सिपालिटीक.
The first ever mobile collection of e-waste has begun in Goa and it started off from Aldona. The aim of this move is to collect the e-waste and recycle it. Speaking to media, Sushant of Karo Sambhav said that there is a lot of e-waste that people have at home which could help to recycle and also clear the mess. People who give their e-waste will also be paid. The waste collected will be taken to the warehouse in Saligaon and later on for recycling or thresh.
I represent an organization called Karo Sambhav. And as you can see here, along with the Goa State Pollution Control Board, GIZ and Karo Sambhav, we have launched today. This is the first journey of the mobile collection van. So it's an initiative by GIZ, Karo Sambhav, along with the Goa State Pollution Control Board. So our idea is every second and fourth Saturday to get this van to previously decided panchayats and locations where we stop for about half an hour each and ask people to come and hand over their e-waste. So what we've realized is a lot of people have junk at home and don't have avenues to dispose. And the few collection centers, there are 3 authorized personnel in Goa, but they are not able to reach to that kind of extent. So we want to make it easy and try and literally go to the doorsteps of people and collect e-waste from them. In order to incentivize, we also offer a small prize which is normally not done. This route will be covering Aldona. We started with Moira, Nashnala, Aldona, then Olauli, Ukasai and Bastara, and then we take it to our warehouse at Saligaon. So that is the plan. In the coming weeks, we want to cover various areas. One route will cover Saligaon, Parra. Another route will probably cover Pena de Franca, the Porvorim Panchayats, maybe Asagaon, Anjuna, that side. So that is the plan for the coming months.
How dangerous it is to dispose this just in open?
So generally what we've seen is people give it to the bangarwala or the scrap dealer. So the problem with them is while they offer good rates, what we don't realize is the methods that they use to dismantle and recycle are very dangerous, hazardous, because these e-waste has hazardous properties. Heavy metals, we call them mercury, cadmium, chromium, lead, beryllium. So what happens is that the techniques that they use for recycling and dismantling are very crude, which can release these heavy metals into the environment. Secondly, it's also very risky for health of the workers of the informal sector. So what we do is so to answer your question, that is the reason why it shouldn't be given to the informal sector. Also, these hazardous components.
Rainfall activity over Goa picked up and thunder showers are likely at most places across the state till August 31st, says IMD. Fishermen are advised not to venture into the sea. Moreover, monsoon 2021 touched 100 inches mark in Goa, wherein the seasonal rainfall is still 3 inches below normal of 103 inches.
Goa to witness heavy rainfall until the 31st of August, says the IMD. The IMD's observation shows that the offshore thorough at mean sea level from Karnataka coast to Kerala coast continues to persist. The cyclonic circulation lies over northwest Bay of Bengal extending up to 3.1 kilometers, and other circulation lies over the Vidarbha and neighborhood at 3.1 kilometers above mean sea levels. Goa will witness heavy rainfall until the 31st of August with thunder showers. This will come into effect from all these systems. Heavy rainfall exceeding 6.4 centimeters in 24 hours is very likely at 1 or 2 places over Goa. The southwest monsoon over Goa has been weak for most of the season so far with 2% defect. Monsoon showers were normal to excess on most days for the first 2 months of the season. The fishermen are advised not to venture into the sea.
Now we end this bulletin with Cartoon of the Day image. Well, that's all we have in today's news bulletin. For more news and updates, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel at HCN Goa. Stay alerted by following us on Twitter and Facebook at Oheraldo. Until then, goodbye and take care.